number, $97 exams. So on your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say knee pain. This is a great value for anybody who's listening and wants to just jump right in and go see Dr. Yu in the office. So Dr. Yu, where we left off, we were talking about when somebody comes in, the scan that you're giving them for. You want to make sure you're taking a holistic approach. You're looking at the entire body and identifying where the problem's actually happening, because it's not always localized to the knee.
Exactly. So I talked about we do a nerve test and we check to see if the nerves that control the knee joint and muscles are working correctly or not. And if they're not working, then therapies on the spine to get those nerves firing correctly. And then we check the whole knee structure, whole body structure. You know, again, if you have bow leg or knock knees, we have certain wedges you wear that help unload the forces on the knee. Right? A lot of doctors will prescribe what's called an unloader brace, to unload the knees, but it's very bulky and it gets hot, and after a couple of weeks they throw it out. But we have just wedges that help align the knees, and just put them in your shoes. Okay? And then we'll look at other factors like, so another cause of knee pain that a lot of people don't understand is a lot of times they're told, like I said, it's because it's on bone that's causing the pain, but it may not. A lot of people are told it's the weather, or you're overweight, and a lot of times it is the nerve that controls the knee that's not working properly. And if we can fix that, a lot of times we can avoid those surgeries.
So tell me about the actual therapy. What's happening? What is the stem cell therapy? How does it work? How does it help?
So before we determine if a patient is a candidate, after we take a look at their structure, their body, the nerves, we will what's called infrared scan thermography test, and we have a special infrared laser we use to detect the temperature of the knee. And if the temperature is very high, we know what area of the knee has the most inflammation. Typically, if you have a bow leg, you're going to have more inflammation on the inside of the knee. That's where the pain is, and the temperature will be high. If it's the outside of the knee, it'll be opposite. Like a knock knee, you're going to have more temperature wear and tear on the outside of the knee, and that will give us a laser accurate point of where we're going to put the umbilical cord stem cell to regenerate the meniscus, the cartilage, the knee. Because stem cells are activated by inflammation, it's called signaling. So we want to put the stem cells where the point of the knee that's hottest, if you will, has the most inflammation. So we don't want to waste those cells going to a part of the knee or body that doesn't have the inflammation.
So they're naturally activated.
Well, not naturally. There has to be some type of signal in the body. So MSC in the industry, MSC, but I like to call them, instead of zincable stem cell, medicinal signaling cell. Because they actually signal your body to repair itself. That's how they really work. They're like a first responder. He's not going to go to a house that's not burning, right? A stem cell's not going to go to the knee if it doesn't have inflammation. So if I do my inflammation scan and you don't have inflammation, I'm not going to recommend the stem cell. It's not going to work. But if you have a high degree, then we'll recommend the stem cell. Because you could think of a knee, if it's arthritis, bone, there's a lot of friction causing heat. That's what causing the swelling and pain. So there's a signal in your body, and the stem cells will go to the knee and help regenerate it, get rid of the pain and inflammation. And then another stem cell, which is the Bob the Builder, will repair the meniscus.
That's wild. So you're using two different kinds of stem cells.
Exactly,
That's so crazy.
One part of the stem cell fights the inflammation, immunomodulatory effect, so it fights infections, boosts your immune system. And then another part of the cell is actually something called growth factors, like hyaluronic acid, and collagen, and that gives like a scaffolding or the basic building
listening to us talk about it right now. If you want more information, this new laser treatment may reduce or eliminate your pain in minutes. If you have chronic knee pain, attend a special knee pain lunch and learn seminar and learn how this new laser stem cell treatment can give your old knees new life and start you living pain-free. Grab your cell phone, be one of the next 27 callers, and the knee pain lunch free. So dial pound 250 and say knee pain, and you'll be connected on your cell phone knee pain, and you get the education that we're only on the air for an hour, so we can give you bullet points as to what's going on, how this procedure works. But you're going to have more questions for your specific situation where you can go there and you can ask these questions. This is a free education for you, so please take advantage of it. Hit pound 250 and say knee pain. Ducky, we're going to jump back to the phones. We have a guest on, two-time Super Bowl champion wide receiver Billy Davis, who won the Super Bowl with the Cowboys and the Ravens. Billy,
thanks for having me.
so before we get into why we're bringing you on a medical show, I want to ask you just a little bit. I mean, what was it like to play in the Super Bowl and the win?
Well, I'll give you some numbers, as a lot of people probably on this show identify with percentages and outcomes scientifically. Only 0.03% of people who play football ever reach the ability to play it professionally. And I guess you can say there's even a finite number to ever win a championship, and there's even a smaller one to win it twice, and there's even a smaller one to win it in two different conferences. So, given that my experience with that, it was beyond amazing, and it's still to this day rewarding and still hard to take in that I accomplished such a feat.
So now let's get to why we're bringing you on the show. You were injured like many football players, and in retirement, you're having with pain, and so you found Dr. Yu. What type of injuries did you have?
Head to toe. I've had 24 plus surgeries during my career and post-career orthopedically. Received over about, I've had documented, and I'm sure there's many more than this, 78 concussions that I've had playing the game. So, let's just say I'll just go in general areas of my body.
Okay.
You have that, we need an entire show. So I've had it from both my, I've torn my patella completely off my kneecap. I had both shoulders reconstructed, broke the orbital of my eye, many reconstructive surgeries on my feet and on my hands. So I am not only a veteran of the gridiron in the football field, but I am a veteran of the OR as well.
Yeah. So what particular injury brought you to Dr. Yu?
So, well, there's many of these. So I'm an advocate. I'm a director for healthcare for the NFL Limited. I've been in healthcare in many different facets, from orthopedic issues all the way to pharmaceutical issues. So what brought him to me is the progressive treatment options that we can fit into our membership. I was very, taken aback back in the day when all I had was the access to standardized. I have a whole lot, or was informed very well, even though I was in the medical field, of some of these progressive therapies, and this was earlier in the stage of this, the spike of a lot of these access to these treatments. And over that time period, I've looked for some pretty progressive, non-invasive options, and that led me to Dr. Yu.
And
Do you believe that stem cells are the future for football players, keeping them on the field and treating them in retirement?
You know, I think it's a piece of the puzzle of the larger tapestry of what's going on. You know, thank God there's some exciting, sharp, scientific minds out there that see and have shown some efficacy of the ability of this to really treat and address